Hello everybody and thank you for tuning into this video on a hashtag Spider-Man Sunday. I don't know if you've noticed, well you probably are right now because this video is a very different type of video on this channel, not really scripted. I'm just going to be going through a bunch of facts about the Raimi trilogy, the Raimi Spider-Man universe. I think this will be a very cool video to do, and mostly want to do it because I've seen a lot of people, and I'm very surprised at one guy. I'm not going to name any names, but they seem to not really, they seem to mess up on like one or two things, and I'm like, dang, I already, this is what's in the Raimi trilogy. It says it here. This has been confirmed, so or this didn't happen that way. You'll see. So these are like 20. These are over 20 very unknown facts about the Raimi trilogy, and I'm not just gonna do stuff like oh Spider-Man 3 was, well, I am gonna talk about that, but there's gonna be some other really unique ones. So we're already a minute in. Sorry for wasting time. Let's go. So one is that Gwen Stacy was officially in Spider-Man 2 already in the novel. It names her out, and that is her right there. I'm going to talk about the Spider-Man 2 montage. So in the montage, I did not notice until recently, but it actually covers a 1 month time jump. So in the movie, Spider-Man has not been a Spider-Man for 1 month, and there's a montage of the raindrops are falling on my head song. Now that's very iconic, and that was actually, geez, sometimes my microphone is just not working well. Anyway, uh, that has a montage over it, and the thing, so there's also this funny moment where like it's all edited kind of funny. So it's ultimately a funny scene. And actually was not supposed to have this song "Raindrops Were Falling on My Head" over it, or any song actually, and it was not supposed to have like funny moments like this picture right here in it as well. But the people behind the crew, one crew member added this song, and Sam Raimi loved it all so much, he actually kept it and put it in the movie, and that's how he got it all today. Another one that I also kind of just learned in the Spider-Man 1 movie, there's that a snip from another Sam Raimi movie called Darkman, and the snip is from the Peter Parker having a nightmare sequence after he gets bit by the spider and he like falls down on the ground and takes a nap, and that was to save money for the movie. Was That's why Sam Raimi did that. Another one that's kind of obvious is the color coding on Thanksgiving is Norman Osborn and Harry Osborn wearing Spider-Man colors, and Spider-Man or Peter Parker wearing Green Goblin colored, wearing the green shirt and stuff like that. Another one, which I just learned from YouTuber Ronnie Pugs' video a little bit ago, was that Mr. Ditkovich in Spider-Man 4 was going to be revealed as a retired Krivna hunter. Now, this might not be true. This might be true, but I like to think it is, so that's why I put it in here. Another one, which I think a lot of you guys who are older know about, but maybe young kids who, I don't know. Anyway, Jake Gyllenhaal almost replaced Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 2 after Tobey Maguire actually had like a accident with his back or something. Jake Gyllenhaal, who in the future plays Mysterio in the last Spider-Man movie, he was going to be Spider-Man in Spider-Man 2, but that did not go through because Tobey Maguire came back. Eddie Brock was in Spider-Man 1, played by R.C. Everbeck. Of course, that all got cut out. He was in the movie, and he was introduced in Spider-Man 3. But in Spider-Man, there's a line that references Eddie Brock where Robbie Robertson says, "We've had Eddie on it for weeks." This one's pretty well known. Tobey Maguire actually did this stunt where he catches all the food on the tray, and it took him 156 takes. Another one that I'm not going to get into too much because you could probably find videos on YouTube, which I just saw was in Spider-Man 2, the Punisher, or the stunt actor who played the Punisher in the movie, in the 2004 movie, was in the end of Spider-Man 2, in front of, standing behind MJ when she's running in her wedding dress, connecting, there's a whole thing that connects Spider-Man, Daredevil, X-Men movies, the two Fantastic Four movies, and the Punisher all together, and Doctor Strange, I guess. But that's for something else, and or not Doctor Strange as an MCU Doctor Strange, but just that Doctor Strange is a hero in that movie. And yeah, there's a deleted Spider-Man X-Men line at the end of Iron Man 1 that was taken out, but obviously it did reference the X-Men trilogy and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Also, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man almost had a cameo in the Incredible Hulk movie. Wolverine almost had a cameo in Spider-Man 2002. The Silver Mask Hobgoblin is the Hobgoblin mask for sure, confirmed, because in beginning Harry Osborn was almost the Hobgoblin instead of the new Goblin, so they had the Hobgoblin mask left over and they decided to put it into the movie as a cool little cameo, or Easter egg, I mean. Anyway, Captain America and Iron Man are in the Spider-Man Raimi verse. Man-Wolf, aka John Jameson, wears the very same medallion that in the comics turned him into the Man-Wolf in the movie Spider-Man 2, and he is also portrayed next to a full moon in one scene. Not to mention that there is a very weirdly specific superhuman, so to say, leap that he makes at the end of the film when he's trying to get the MJ on top of the crane. Obviously, this one's kind of well known, but Bruce Campbell, now he said that he was never talked about, but the storyboards really make it seem like Bruce Campbell was going to be Mysterio in Spider-Man 4 for just like a minute, just like his other cameos in Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. And also, if you watch those all back to back, kind of seems like his origin story, like Mysterio wants to be like a, big Hollywood guy, and he did a wrestling act, but then, because Spider-Man beat up the wrestler, they had to cancel that show, and then he got fired, and then he just like became a, usher at plays, and then I don't really know why he would get fired from that. Maybe because Mary Jane quit because of Peter Parker. Uh, and then he became just a French restaurant guy, and maybe I don't know, he messed up on something because of Peter Parker was telling him to go back and put the wine back in the champagne, or wasn't when it was champagne, the champagne with the wedding ring in it back. I don't know, but that's just my little thing. Anyway, something I do want to talk about, which I don't see people talk about much anymore. Spider-Man 3 was supposed to introduce the Vulture, not Venom, and he wasn't going to fight the Vulture in the movie. He was just supposed to introduce him. He's not going to have the new Goblin and Sandman as the villains, and Vulture would be the main villain in Spider-Man 4. And Vulture would have broken out Sandman from prison in Spider-Man 4, and they would have teamed up, since they would have been cellmates. Also, Spider-Man 3 was also almost split into two films. Dr. Kirk Connors is mentioned in Spider-Man 2002 movie and appears in Spider-Man 2 and 3 with the missing arm, and was probably going to be the Lizard in the future movie like Spider-Man 4, or Spider-Man 5, sorry. In fact, this is the concept art when Lizard was originally going to be in Spider-Man 2. A very, unknown thing, which is one of the reasons I did want to make this video. I did want to make it, actually. For the video games, the Lizard is seen in the first trailer for Spider-Man 2, the movie game, but was removed because he was too scary. He was recycled and was in Spider-Man 3, the game, and so was Kraven the Hunter. The Lost Missions still have their own audio lines recorded fully, as you can see on YouTube right now. Sam Raimi's brother Ted plays Hoffman in the trilogy. His older brother was in Spider-Man 3 as a writer, and yes, all these movies are packed with cameos. The actor who plays the burglar, Dennis Carradine, was in the reboot The Amazing Spider-Man as the car driver. Dr. Octopus's mechanical arms were mostly practical effects. Rosemary Harris did her own stunts in Spider-Man 2, and speaking of stunts, Willem Dafoe did 90% of stunts as in the first Spider-Man movie as the Green Goblin. All of Mary Jane's screams in Spider-Man 3 were reused screams from Spider-Man 2. Also, in Spider-Man 2, the way Dr. Octopus's tentacles can pick up MJ and Aunt May is there are other skinnier tentacles, longer ones inside the main one that wraps around them. If you can see it if you look close, but that always kind of was a question I had on how Doc Ock could just magically lift them up like that. The scientist Norman Osborn kills after he becomes the Green Goblin in the lab in Spider-Man 2002 movie is a Spider-Man villain in the comics named Mandrel Strom. Lots and lots of people think Mary Jane messed up her speech in Spider-Man 2 because she was distracted by having Peter Parker not in the crowd, but the play's lines actually go like that. She did not mess up that play. It actually has to respond, yes, I mean no. Sandman has a daughter in Spider-Man 3, Penny Marco, an original character. Susie Marco is Sandman's daughter in the alternative universe where the comic Spider-Man Reign takes place. And to end off, a little fact about the movie games, or some other stuff. Number one is that Scorpion was in the Spider-Man 2002 movie game, and Rhino was in Spider-Man 2 game. But in Spider-Man 3 PS3 version, they returned but were treated as completely new characters. In the PS2 Wii version of Spider-Man 3, Morbius and Shrieker in the game, but not Rhino, Scorpion, or Kingpin. Electro appears in the Spider-Man Friend or Foe PSP version of the game, which is based off the Raimi designs. In the Spider-Man 3 movie game, Spider-Man references having to face Electro previously. I thought that happened in the previous Spider-Man 2 version of the game, but I cannot find any proof, so maybe not. Also, Carnage was in the Friend or Foe PSP also. If you have another cool fact, please leave it down below. I'd love to read it. With all that said, I hope you enjoy. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a good day.